Okay, everybody, I have found possibly Rank's strongest soldier. Toma here, talking about their experience in Street Fighter 6. They are from Japan. Even at MR 3 digits, due to disparity matching, I keep running into people with MR 1200 to 1300 and can't do consecutive battles. And since there are a few people with the same MR, matching takes a long time. I'll do my best to aim for MR 1000. So this player, in great spirits, I've been following their Twitter a little bit, is talking about the trials and tribulations of being below 1000 MR, having 3 digits to MR, which I don't think I have ever seen a single time in America. And they had this one here that popped off a little bit. They're playing Sea Viper, modern Sea Viper. They said, from yesterday to today, after receiving guidance and reviewing my movements, I once dropped down to Viper 700, MR 700, but I managed to recover back to MR 1000. I realized that once I touch them, I can consistently set up offensive mix-ups from the rushdown, and now I am aiming for mid, low, and throws. I also thought the small assist combos is pretty strong, so I'll be using it going forward. This caught a lot of attention from the rest of the community on Twitter. Ali says, this is a testament to how popular the game is in Japan. It's practically impossible to go below 1000 MR in the West because at a certain point, you're losing like 1 MR per game. Why this is so significant, like why this low MR is so significant, it's not that you only lose 1 MR per game. If the rank difference is high enough, you literally lose 0. It's really hard to get to the extremes to cut off inflation, and it's really hard to get to the lows. And in general, when you have a higher player population, that makes the highs and the lows more extreme, and the lower the player population, the more compressed the ranks are. That's why like you put a player like Punk, Meta RD, whatever, consistently when players that are really strong in other regions like Europe or America go to Japan, their MR goes up by at least like 200 to 300 points. It's almost impossible to hit 2500 MR in anywhere else besides Japan, for example. You'll cap out at 2200 max. It's not going to happen, right? And conversely, going that low below is also impossible. I have never seen anyone below 1000 MR. Objectively, never seen that. But this player seems to be in really good spirits about it, showing a lot of promise with their growth and really happy about it. And they're talking about, you know, actually doing mix-ups and everything. So what I figured today is, let's take a look at Toma's replays, Ranked Strongest Soldier here, who's maintaining a positive attitude and a growth mindset while going to the absolute depths of Ranked that I did not know were even possible. Let's observe what they're doing to see what Ranked is like at MR sub 4 digits in the 3-digit range. So here, we saved a couple of replays, and you can see they went from 1818 to 788 to 1100 to 12, almost 1200 up here. I have not seen these replays. I'm curious to see what Ranked is like down here between 800 MR and a 1000 MR player. Modern Sea Viper versus classic Aki. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's looking high level. Drivers start from Aki. This is 800 MR. They did drive rush in for Oki to cross up instant jump burn kicks. This is legit. Okay, their meter that's a huge problem. Their meter management is really bad. They're using too many Viper's tools and having too much fun. Burnt out already. No anti-air, even though they're on modern. You can't do that. All right, they're aware of countering DI. Nice jump out of the corner. Okay, so this is a big problem with just managing your spacing and risk avoidance. So they had this great reaction to the DI. Right? Great reaction. They have an opportunity to live. They jump out of the corner. Amazing. You're burnt out and you're in the corner. All you want to do is avoid being in a bad spot. They get a little straight button there, and the first thing they do is go for a burn kick instead of just holding their ground and maybe backing up to mid-screen. They go for a burn kick here, immediately put themselves back in. And not only that, they spent the 1 usage of the level 1 for an instant jump burn kick. So they're going for a cross-up burn kick using their one-time use of the install when they're in burnout, and immediately put themselves into the corner again. And then instead of just holding up forward and trying to go far, they go burn kick to burn kick. Okay. A little bit of chaos there. But if they just backed up to mid-screen and waited it out, they'd be in a much stronger position. It didn't cost them everything, but it's a huge problem that a lot of players have. Oh man, you gotta block low. Throw loops. They went. This Aki player went for it, man. Okay, here's another thing about what's going on here that it's pretty subtle. Okay, notice how when they get knocked down, what do they do? What are they doing after these knockdowns, chat? They're not back rolling. This is the number one thing I harp on for the slam. This will instantly skyrocket your win rate in so many situations. This is the number one habit I think newer players need, or less experienced players need to have, is to back roll. Back rolling is so important, and you see the immediate consequences of this. They get thrown once mid-screen, and now they're in a pure 50-50 every time they wake up. Because they're not back rolling, this setup becomes airtight. Every time they land this situation, it's going to beat the wake up option that they go for. So right there, it's clean. Look at the frame rate when Viper gets up. Just it's like a meaty throw. They can't wake up buttons on that. If they back rolled, Aki cannot get a meaty throw like that mid-screen. They're forced to take this hardcore mix because they're not back rolling. Same thing, and then the Aki player immediately quick rises as well, or doesn't tech. Yeah, see, the Aki player doesn't tech either. Aki almost burnt out. Okay, anti-air with the level 1. That wasn't bad. That was a good comeback, Toma. Okay, I see you. And see, even for the Aki player, like, this is a general trend. Like, this is crazy that this is 1,800 MR, by the way. This looks significantly better than a lot of 1,500 matches I see. This still looks better. But this is OD Fireball, Drive Rush, Overhead, OD move spend. Like, this is so much drive gauge spend so early in the round, and then they don't go into level 3. It's pretty risky, I would argue. Oh, ballsy walk up throw right there. What? Toma, you don't throw them. You don't throw them. I see, that was very close. So I think in almost every single offensive situation that Toma had gained advantage, I like how they go for Oki. Like, the fact that they're using Drive Rush to get in, and they get a knockdown from their combo conversion, whatever. They understand to use Drive Rush to get in and apply pressure. But once they get in, they always do jab, jab, jab. And I think this is a problem with learning, like, you know, up-and-coming players where they don't understand how to establish their offense. So they get this sequence, Drive Rush in, jab. This is powerful because they have to immediately now from this point forward guess if you're going to go for a tick throw or another frame trap. And of course, you can also do light pressure in order to, like, delay your buttons to catch them trying to jab you from overextending. But every single time they scored a knockdown, Toma would go for this pressure, right? Jab, 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 it's over. You took the safest offensive option, but now you're going to be left here, -2, and extending with this crouching medium punch itself is dangerous because Rio, for example, could have pressed jab there, could have pressed their own stand medium punch. This is a really key offensive structure thing to understand in this game. So 1, 2, 3, over. Dead. So it's very common because you're going to be left negative after the 3 lights, and it's very hard for the opponent to take their turn back. Now, Aki or Viper can sometimes threaten with, like, stand light kick versus some characters. I don't think it would work against Aki's 6-frame stand medium. But yeah, so Toma did not represent Drive Rush jab immediate throw or Drive Rush jab walk up to reset the pressure at all. So learning how to structure your pressure a little bit better is important. It's a common beginner trap. Oh shit, I got a knockdown, Drive Rush, jab, 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 jab. You ruined your turn. But not bad for 800 MR. Okay, here's at 788 at the lowest I could find. Punish. Good awareness, a little bit heavy on the meter usage. Okay. This is not going to work if you don't anti-air. Okay, this is clearly just needs to work on anti-airing. Setting the dummy to just walk back and forth and hold up forward and practice the muscle memory to actually input the anti-air. I mean, you have modern, it's going to be one button. You know, it shouldn't be hard. They're just, like, not thinking about it and don't have that muscle or awareness ready at all. Like, that has to improve. That would be my, like, back roll every time and then use that. Oh, they went low. Look at that. They used Drive Rush, crouching, light kick. So they're mixing between overhead and low. Yeah, the size was not going to be good. Jamie's going to be taking to the air too much. Nice. Punish. Heavy auto. I like it. I like it. I've seen 900 MR in ranked, but usually it's players who auto accept an AFK. Is that some kind of scheme to just farm, what, drive tickets? What is even the point of that? Drive rush overhead? Punish! Ah, that was, I mean, it's good. It's good that you did this, but I still think this was like an autopilot situation. Once you have more matchup awareness, you'll recognize that Jamie whiffed a DP and you could kill them. But at least, you know, any punish is better than no punish. Yeah, and this Jamie player is just too nutty. You can't be using overly committal options. And they're gonna do that. Nice. Oh, look at the matchup awareness in the player read there. So they lose this game. Is that how? You might just be dead. Oh, that's a painful one. Yeah, you're playing. Tomo was playing really good here. This is just understanding your opponent and not giving them any opportunity. This guy was super nutty. You didn't want to overly commit to bigger buttons because they're going to jump or do a random palm. I think baiting their approach and punishing them is definitely the way to go against a player like this. However, you got to anti-air. If Toma could anti-air with the modern DP, that would have tied this together. But because they didn't have anti-airs that strong, they're trying to play a little bit more aggressively on the ground because they can't look for the air that well, and then they overcommit on the buttons. The progression is there. You can already see they're using drive rush overhead and drive rush crouch and light kick instead of just drive rush jabs. So you can see the progression. Okay, here they are at 1100 MR, so there's growth. Let's see. Let's look for back rolls. I want to see if there's any back rolls or any anti-airs. Oh, shimmied. Okay, you're good. Is that their anti-air instead of doing the DP or using perfect parry anti-air? Are they going to start using the focused attack for the anti-air? Kind of like a Street Fighter V Ryu with their parry. Dude, they're swinging. Jump heavy knockdown. But here also, I mean, this would be hard to react to for anybody, but if you had tech that, you would have avoided the strike throw mix. Can you force a burnout? Okay. Okay, well, that was some offense, a little bit of mix there. Yeah, I'm starting to get the impression that they picked up this weird habit of using the focus attack as the anti-air option. Like, this is going to be their anti-air instead of using the DP, absorb the jump in and punish. But it's just not good. I'm not sure if that's what they're meaning to do. That's a thought process, but they just need the Thunder Dash anti-air. So got swinging right now. Okay. Their offense is getting pretty good. Overhead! Oh, shit. Okay, they got mix. Okay, hold on. Yeah. There's high, lows, and mids. Like, against the Aki, that's when they're at their weakest, because they only went for drive rush jabs. Okay. They know how to structure the looping offense in the corner. Oh, shit, look at this. This is not a full auto combo. They started with the auto, and then I guess that gives you the just frame. This must give you the perfect instant air burn kick, because now this is a frame perfect setup to get this Thunder Dash to connect after. If you do this manually, you have to get a frame perfect instant jump medium burn kick to get the medium Thunder Dash into the follow-up for better damage and better Oki. So that's interesting how the auto combo gives you that automatically, the frame perfect setup. And then they've learned to then add on the actual manual input quarter circle back on top of the auto combo to get the better extension from it. So that they evolve some tech. Oh, whoa. This is good Oki. I don't even do this. Dash up after, crouching MK, link into the DP. I legit have not used this. That's really good. I'm actually stealing that. I like this jump heavy kick option. Mixing and grabs though. Wow, this my player is not ready for this. Oh, they went for the same. Okay, that's their new. They rinse and repeat the same sequence. It looks like they figured out one combo. This is great because this combo version they're doing, like I said, they got creative adding on the medium Thunder Dash here to the Oki after the follow-up, and they found one new setup and they're rinse and repeating this until it stops working, or maybe not even. This is so important. I definitely think finding some airtight Oki on a knockdown that you can loop, and you know, you get the hit, go into the knockdown, you have your airtight Oki setup that will beat wake up mashing on both regular get up and back roll. Run that play over and over until it doesn't work anymore. That is really important when you're coming up, so that you're not thinking too hard about your flowchart for offense. That shouldn't be where your brain power is being spent. They got their sequence. If it hits, they go into the DP follow-up and they run that shit. Oh, hold on. I don't think I've seen them do that this entire time. What was it, a little feint to bait them out? Look at that. Okay. So they do down special and then the drive parry input to do the feint. That's interesting. They have the parry macro from modern. So just down special, then parry input. That gives you a Seismo feint. Okay. Yeah, they're kind of pinned in the corner there. Nice parry on my fan bounce. If only they had DPs, but I like that super jump out. Just the button saying MK to super jump to escape. Well, they're playing some footsies right now. Overhead. Okay, they got Oki. That's huge. You can see the growth even in just those couple of games. That was sick. Yeah, in the first game, you could see that they were overly committing to just like regular jab, jab, jab meaties, which gives you no mix whatsoever. And then as they went on, they incorporated the lows and the drive rush overhead as well. Then you saw that they actually had a flowchart setup. They optimized their combo conversion to get better Oki. Once they had that, they were able to then, when they scored a hit, convert to more damage and momentum. And then when they weren't actually having their offense running, they were just in neutral, they played way more calm and collected. And you can see that they incorporated way less Seismos picking their spots so they wouldn't randomly get jumped in on. And they also incorporated the feint, used a super jump to get out of the corner. In the beginning, they were spamming burn kicks and burning themselves out instantly. You have to pick your spots. So you can clearly see the difference between their 700, 800 MR gameplay and their 1100 MR gameplay. I actually learned a new setup to go for that crashing light kick, or crashing medium kick after the medium Thunder Dash Oki setup. So that was very big. So shout out to Toma. I think their ranks strongest soldier, having a super positive attitude and growth mindset, even when in the depths of 3-digit MR hell. So I think that's really important to show that no matter where you are, if you have a positive mindset, you can improve. And so if you're struggling with your MR dropping too low, just remember, think of what Toma would do. All right, hit the lab, grind up. All right, that's all I got for this one. Peace.